Hidden signs that the Buddha is watching over you. Have you ever paused in the midst of a busy life and wondered whether you are being watched over and protected by a higher power? There are truly strange moments, a sudden ray of light, a repeating number, or a mysterious dream. All of these seem to speak to you in ways words cannot explain. Could these be messages from the Buddha, a series of silent yet profound spiritual signals? The ancients believed that when a person faces hardship or loses their way, the Buddha does not appear overtly but always finds a way to remind and guide them. He does not use words but sends messages through subtle signs that may feel mystical yet reach deep into the soul to soothe anxiety. These signs might be a sudden sense of peace amid an emotional storm, a strange bird approaching while you are praying, or the sound of a bell ringing in a silent space. Although science may struggle to explain these phenomena, they carry within them a strong belief that we are never alone. Sometimes all it takes is a moment of stillness, an open heart, and faith in the miraculous for you to realize that the Buddha is always watching over, protecting, and illuminating your path. Let us explore these signs not out of fear or superstition, but to understand that in this vast world there is always a divine love embracing us, reminding us that life is a meaningful journey and that we are always under protection. Strange light, a sign of guidance and protection in life. There are unexpectedly strange moments as if the universe is sending us a silent yet meaningful message. Strange light is one such sign. It might be a flash of light from the sky, a vibrant rainbow appearing at just the right moment, or simply a sudden ray of sunshine piercing through the foliage and shining directly on you. From a spiritual perspective, these phenomena are more than natural scenes. They carry blessings and a confirmation from the Buddha that you are not alone. Imagine on a day filled with heavy thoughts when your mind is full of questions about the future and worries for yourself and loved ones. You look up and suddenly see a brilliant light piercing the cloudy sky. In that moment, something within you becomes calm. Is it a mere coincidence or a way for the Buddha to send you a message saying, "Do not fear, I am still here with you"? The ancients often said that light carries sacred energy. In ancient stories, light symbolizes enlightenment and guidance through darkness. When light appears unexpectedly, especially at moments when you are seeking an answer or praying, it is not merely a physical phenomenon but a symbol, a reminder that each person has an inner light to guide them, and sometimes external light reflects that inner faith. The story of a woman and a message from the Buddha. There is a story about a young woman whose life seemed to have reached an impasse with unsatisfying work, family discord, and declining health. One afternoon, while sitting under a tree behind her house, she closed her eyes, placed her hand over her heart, and whispered a prayer. "If someone is listening, please help me get through this time." When she opened her eyes, she saw sunlight piercing through the thick leaves, shining straight into her palm. In that moment, she felt a wave of peace spread through her body, as if someone was reassuring her, "You are not alone. Everything will pass." From then on, she believed she had received a message from the Buddha, and that faith helped her rise bravely to face all challenges. Strange light often appears at very special moments. It might occur when you are facing difficult choices or when you feel lost amid life's turbulence. That light is not only a visual phenomenon but also a symbol of hope, a belief that something good always awaits you ahead. Light in Buddhism, symbol of wisdom and compassion. In Buddhism, light symbolizes wisdom and compassion. The Buddha is often depicted with a radiant halo illuminating not only the surrounding space but also the hearts of those who behold it. When you see a sudden flash of light in darkness, it may be a reminder that that compassionate light is always near, waiting for you to open your heart and feel it. Feeling deep reassurance. Experiencing strange light is hard to put into words. It is not only amazement at the beauty of nature, but also a profound feeling in the soul, a sense that you are protected, comforted, and reminded that life is more than what you see with your eyes. In those moments, you realize that there are things beyond human understanding. Things that cannot be seen with the eyes, yet can be clearly felt with the heart. If you have ever experienced such a moment, remember that it is not merely a coincidence. It is a message from the invisible realm, a connection between you and a greater power full of love and compassion. And if you have not yet noticed these signs, open your heart a little more and pay a bit more attention, for that light may always have been present in your life, just waiting for you to see it. Strange light, no matter how mysterious it may appear, is still part of the journey each of us goes through. It is a reminder that even when life's path seems dark, you are always watched over, protected, and guided by the Buddha. Trust in that light, for faith itself is the brightest light anyone can carry within them. Listen for the sound of bells or strange noises as messages from the invisible realm. Have you ever experienced a moment when in complete silence a peculiar sound suddenly echoed seemingly from nowhere? The long toll of a bell, the gentle chant of a sutra, or sometimes just an indistinct noise, yet etched into your memory. Although fleeting, those moments often startle us into reflection, prompting the question, could it be a message from the spiritual world, a silent signal the Buddha wants to send us? In the busyness of life, the sound of bells or other strange noises appears as an unexpected reminder, pulling us out of the cycle of anxiety and overwhelm. People believe these are not random sounds, but messages, invitations from the unseen realm calling us back to the true nature of our soul. These sounds are not meant to frighten, but to be heard, to help us recognize that we are connected to a deeper world where every worry and sorrow seems to dissolve. Imagine sitting alone in a room of the mind, tangled by the pressures of work or complicated relationships. The space around you is so quiet that you can hear your own breath, and then suddenly a bell rings, not loudly, but enough to touch your heart and leave you momentarily stunned. That bell sounds like a gentle whisper from a distant realm. Stop for a moment. Return within yourself. In East Asian culture, the bell has long been regarded as a symbol of purity and enlightenment. When it tolls, the sound does not merely echo through the air but penetrates deep into the soul, sweeping away the dust of affliction. Many Buddhist temples ring the bell at dawn or dusk, not only to mark the time, but also to awaken the stillness within us. It is believed that the bell can pierce through the layers of the small self and touch the higher self, reminding us to live mindfully and with compassion. There is a story of a middle-aged man who, after years of chasing fame, found himself in a deep pit of emptiness and lost direction. One night, while sitting quietly in a dark house, he suddenly heard a bell ringing somewhere. The sound was gentle, yet seemed to strike straight into his heart, bringing him to tears. In that moment, he felt a strange comfort, as if someone was reassuring him to let go of unnecessary burdens. From that time on, he began to practice mindfulness and return to the spiritual values he had long neglected. The strange sounds you hear sometimes have no clear source, but carry a special energy. They may appear at the moments you need them most, offering reassurance that you are not alone. Someone once shared that on a day of deep sorrow, after the loss of a loved one, they heard a bell ring despite there being no temple or bell nearby. That sound made them feel as if the departed were sending a message: be at peace. I am always here. The bell is not just a sound, but also a symbol of awakening. When you hear it, consider it an invitation to return to the present, release wandering thoughts, and realize that everything will be all right. Sometimes we become absorbed in future uncertainties or regrets about the past, forgetting that this very moment, right here, is the most precious. Wherever it may ring, the bell carries a message: return to yourself. All that you need is already within your heart. If one day you hear strange sounds in the silence, do not rush to worry or doubt. Stop and listen. It may be the way the Buddha reminds you that even amid life's storms, you can always find peace within your own soul. Although fleeting, the bell can serve as a bridge between you and the invisible realm where all suffering is transformed and where love and protection always exist. Remember that this sound is not meant to scare you, but to awaken you. It is a sign, a gentle reminder that you are watched over and protected. If you know how to listen, you will find that in those sounds the Buddha is sending you the most profound and gentle blessings. Seeing a Buddha statue or a spiritual image appear unexpectedly is a reminder of faith and protection. Have you ever been walking down a busy street, weighed down by worries, when your eyes suddenly rest on an old Buddha statue, a picture of Christ, or another sacred symbol you did not expect to encounter? Or perhaps you accidentally opened an old book and amid yellowed pages a spiritual image emerged before your eyes. Those moments that seem random often carry a profound message. It is believed that such sacred symbols do not appear by chance, but are the way the universe or the Buddha reminds you that, no matter how difficult life becomes, you always have a refuge and a faith to guide your steps. In times of uncertainty, when your mind is chaotic and you feel overwhelmed by life, unexpected spiritual images can bring great comfort. A small Buddha statue quietly standing in the rush of life seems to say, "Be calm. Everything will pass." A picture of Christ glimpsed through a half-open door can remind you that love and protection are ever present if you open your heart to receive them. There is a story of a man facing a financial crisis. As he walked along the street, his mind was full of anxiety about how to save his situation. Suddenly, he noticed a small statue of the Bodhisattva Guanyin beneath a tree that he had never paid attention to before. Looking at that statue, he felt a wave of peace spread through him as if it carried a message. Be patient. Keep trying. Everything will be all right. A few days later, he received a job opportunity that was enough to lift his life out of hardship. Those spiritual symbols appearing unexpectedly not only brought a sense of reassurance but also reminded him of the power of faith. In our life journey, we sometimes forget that we are not alone. We run after goals and material pursuits only to lose sight of our deep connection to our spiritual source. Buddha statues, images of Christ, and other sacred symbols appear to awaken the soul, reminding you that immutable values and solid refuges always exist within reach when you turn back. In Buddhism, the image of the Buddha is not only a representation of enlightenment, but also a reminder that each person carries within themselves the seed of wisdom and compassion. When you see a Buddha statue appear spontaneously, remember that it is not merely an inanimate object, but a reflection of your own compassion and inner strength. That image tells you that whatever challenges lie ahead, you can overcome them because you always have support from the sacred realm. Likewise, in Christianity, the image of Christ is a symbol of unconditional love and forgiveness. When you unexpectedly glimpse that image in a moment of crisis, it is not mere coincidence. It is a reminder that you are loved, that even if you make mistakes or fall, there is always an embrace ready to receive you and lift you up again. Notice how spiritual symbols often appear just when you need them most, perhaps when you feel weary, lost, or are facing a difficult decision. They do not come to solve your problems for you, but to give you strength and remind you that you do not have to carry everything on your own. If one day you pass a small Buddha statue humbly placed at a street corner, don't just walk by. Stop for a moment, look, and feel. In that instant, part of your anxiety may melt away, making room for a gentler, more peaceful sensation. If you see a spiritual image unexpectedly in everyday life, welcome it as a gift. This is how heaven and the Buddha tell you. You are no longer alone. Trust your next step. These symbols, however humble and simple, carry the power of comfort and faith. They are not merely objects but vessels of energy, messages that, despite life's storms, you always have a place to turn to, a faith to hold on to, and peace to find. Open your heart to perceive these signals not only with your eyes but also with your soul. When you do, you will realize that heaven and the Buddha are always watching over and protecting you every step of your journey. 4. Seeing repeating numbers, signals from the universe and the Buddha. Have you ever noticed that certain numbers mysteriously repeat around you? A clock shows exactly 1111 when you glance at it. A purchase total reads 777, or the license plate ahead displays 3 identical digits like 999. These occurrences may seem coincidental but evoke a curious sense that something wants to communicate through these numbers. Do not dismiss them, for in spiritual philosophy these are often considered signals from the universe, ways in which heaven and the Buddha send you meaningful messages. Numbers are not just figures, they are symbols, a language of the cosmos, an unspoken yet powerful tongue. When repeating numbers keep appearing in your life, it is not random but a reminder. The ancients believed that these special numbers serve as guides, signs from the invisible realm, telling you that you are on the right path or about to encounter a major turning point. Consider 1111, a number often mentioned in spiritual contexts. There is a strange sensation when you look at the clock at that precise minute, as if the world pauses for a moment to convey something. Many believe that 1111 symbolizes awakening, the moment when the boundary between the physical and spiritual realms is at its thinnest. Seeing this number is an ideal time to focus on your deepest wishes, because the universe is listening to you most intently. Other numbers, like 777 or 999, carry distinct meanings too. In many spiritual traditions, 777 is seen as a number of blessing. When this sequence appears, it signals that you are protected by benevolent energies and that your difficulties are about to be resolved. Meanwhile, 999 represents completion, indicating that one phase of your life is closing to make way for a new beginning. When you see 999, prepare to embrace significant change. It heralds transformation and opportunity. Why do these numbers appear? Is it mere coincidence, or is there a deeper significance? In spiritual philosophy, repeating numbers arise from the interplay between your energy frequency and that of the universe. When you are confused, anxious, or seeking affirmation of your direction, these numbers appear as comforting signs, reminding you that everything unfolds according to a grand plan you may not yet see. Reflect on the last time you noticed these numbers. When was it? Where were you? What were you doing? And how did you feel? These numbers are not just signals but invitations to pause, listen to your inner self, and contemplate the path ahead. If you see 1111 on days of doubt, perhaps it is urging you to trust your intuition. If 777 appears, the Buddha may be telling you that everything will be fine as long as you persevere. And if you encounter 999, be ready to let go of the old and step into a promising new chapter. As the ancients said, the universe always whispers to those who listen. Repeating numbers are that whisper, a secret language that only unfolds when you open your heart. Some people feel an instant calm upon seeing these numbers, as if all their anxieties have dissolved. That peace does not come from the numbers themselves, but from the belief that they are guided and protected by powers greater than themselves. But how can you truly understand and receive these messages? Pause and notice your emotions. How do you feel when you see that number? What thought first arises in your mind? Those initial feelings and thoughts are often the answer the universe wants to send you. Next, trust the process. Sometimes you do not need to comprehend everything. Just know that what is happening has purpose and will lead you where you need to be. Seeing repeating numbers is not something to fear but a gift to perceive and embrace. It tells you that you are connected to a great power and that you are never alone on your journey. Whether on a clock, a license plate, or elsewhere, these numbers remind you that the universe and the Buddha are by your side, watching over you step by step. Remember, when you see repeating numbers, smile, for they are not mere digits but messages from the unseen realm. Keep moving forward, you are on the right path, and the invisible hand of protection will always be with you. Have you ever faced a dangerous situation in which a single moment's delay, a wrong decision, or a careless action could have led to catastrophic consequences? Yet, mysteriously, at that moment it seemed an unseen force intervened, helping you escape harm by the narrowest of margins. One person recounted driving on a slippery road, feeling helpless as the wheels began to skid out of control. But then, as if an invisible hand steadied the wheel, the car returned safely to its lane. Experiences like these are not just luck. They are considered proof that heaven and the Buddha are constantly watching over you, sheltering and protecting you in your life. Everyone has faced sudden dangers at some point. Perhaps a traffic accident, a serious illness, or a situation that seemed hopeless. Yet the miraculous thing is that just when you think it's all over, something unexpected happens to save you in disbelief. Could it be the hand of heaven and the Buddha, of sacred forces silently watching over you? Try to recall a similar moment in your own life. You're walking down the street and suddenly stop to tie your shoelace. At that very moment, a car hurtles past the spot where you'd been standing just seconds before. Had you not paused, you might have been in grave danger. Such coincidences are often more than random chance. They're believed to be acts of protection, ways in which heaven and the Buddha intervene to keep you safe. In spiritual philosophy, the sense of being guarded in perilous moments is not mere luck, but a signal that you're being watched over. Those experiences remind us that life is not just mere existence, but a journey wrapped in love and care from sacred beings. There's a story of an old man working in a field one afternoon who suddenly felt an irresistible urge to leave immediately. He didn't understand why, but he obeyed, and only minutes later, a landslide swept away the very spot he had just vacated. He later described that inner urging as a gentle yet unmistakable whisper that saved his life. Such experiences are not rare. One person recounted feeling as if someone was beside them, comforting and strengthening them during a life-threatening illness. Another shared that when lost in a deep forest, they unexpectedly found their way out by following an intuition to take a narrow, seemingly dubious path. Though these events defy rational explanation, they leave a profound imprint on the soul, clear proof that we are never truly alone. Feeling protected in danger also helps us trust our own intuition. In spiritual thought, intuition is not merely a biological mechanism, but the soul's way of connecting with the universe. When you sense a strong inner urging, an inner voice telling you to take action to avoid risk, listen. That may be how heaven and the Buddha communicate with you, keeping you safe from unseen perils. But why do heaven and the Buddha intervene at such moments? The ancients believed each of us carries a mission, a purpose for being here. If you have not yet fulfilled that mission or need more time to learn and grow, heaven and the Buddha will not let you depart too soon. Their protection in dangerous situations serves as a reminder that many meaningful experiences still await you. Cherish the moments when you feel you've been saved by a hair's breadth. They're not just matters of luck, but proof that you were supported on your journey. Those invisible hands, whether heaven, ancestors, or benevolent spirits are always watching over and protecting you in your darkest hours. Next time you escape a perilous situation, take a moment to reflect and give thanks, for those fleeting moments prove you are loved and guarded. It is their message. Continue forward with courage, for a great power walks beside you, guiding you through life's storms and bringing you peace. Unexpected whispers from heaven and the Buddha. Life sometimes plunges us into pain and despair so deep that we believe we cannot go on. Yet amid those dark moments, have you ever felt a sudden wave of peace wash over your soul, easing all pain and anxiety? That feeling doesn't come from outside, but feels like a warmth rising from deep within, enveloping you and helping you momentarily forget your suffering. For many, it is proof that heaven and the Buddha are silently watching, sending a message: trust that everything will be all right. This unexpected peace often arrives when you feel utterly exhausted, your mind flooded with unanswerable questions, or when you face a major life upheaval. It is then that your soul craves a support no external comfort can provide. And amid that emotional storm, you suddenly realize you are no longer in as much pain. Your heart feels lighter, as if someone quietly lifted the burden from your shoulders. Recall a moment like that. Perhaps you sat alone in the dark, reflecting on recent losses, tears streaming down your face, the grief feeling endless. Then, suddenly, you felt a cool breeze sweep through your mind, a gentle calm like an invisible hand resting on your shoulder. In that instant, you no longer felt alone. You didn't know why, but you understood that somehow things would turn out okay. There's a story of a woman who, after losing her only son, sank into months of grief. One day, as she sat on her porch, her heart heavy with painful memories, she felt a warmth spread through her chest. It wasn't joy but comfort, a sense that her son remained with her, and that her suffering would heal over time. From then on, she found the strength to stand again, to live on with the belief that love had never truly left her. That sudden peace doesn't come only in sorrow. It can appear even when you face a difficult choice. One person shared that, torn between two major career paths and unable to sleep from anxiety, they one morning sat quietly by a window. As sunlight filtered through the trees, they suddenly experienced a profound calm. In that moment, all their fear dissipated, and they knew what they must do. Why do heaven and the Buddha send us this sense of peace? Perhaps it is their way of reminding us that, no matter the circumstances, we always have the strength to persevere. Peace does not arise from solving every problem, but from realizing that things will be all right and that we're not alone in our struggles. When you embrace this truth, peace flows in like cool water, soothing a heart aflame with sorrow. If one day you find yourself feeling peaceful amid life's storms, receive it with gratitude. It is not just an emotion, but a message from heaven and the Buddha urging you to be strong, dear one. Every storm will pass, and the light of dawn awaits you. That unexpected peace not only helps you overcome current challenges, but also serves as a torch to light your way, enabling you to continue your journey with faith and hope. Life is full of twists and turns, but whenever you sense deep inner peace, it is a sign that you are being watched over and protected. Trust in that, and keep moving forward, for each step you take is accompanied by silent presence of love and care. Be strange but meaningful dreams, messages from the invisible realm. On life's journey, there are nights when dreams are not merely products of the mind, but portals to another world, where humans and sublime energies converge. Have you ever dreamed of entering a majestic temple, seeing radiant golden light fill the space, or encountering the compassionate visage of the Buddha or a bodhisattva? If you have, you know the profound tranquility those dreams leave behind. Such dreams are never random. They are how the sacred send blessings or guidance along your path. In spiritual belief, dreams bridge human consciousness and the invisible realm. When you sleep, your mind escapes the noise of daily life and opens to messages you might otherwise miss, often appearing when you face a crucial crossroad or deep anguish. These meaningful dreams illuminate your way. Picture this dream. You walk along a misty road surrounded by darkness and fear. Then, from afar, you see a brilliant yellow light guiding your steps. You follow and discover it comes from a serene temple. Stepping inside, you find the Buddha smiling gently, eyes filled with compassion as vast as an ocean. Though the dream ends, the peace lingers long after you awaken. The ancients believed that dreams could carry divine blessings or warnings. One story tells of a middle-aged man in deep despair after losing his beloved wife. In his dream, he wandered a dark forest, gripped by fear, until a bodhisattva appeared, handing him a lotus and saying, "Peace lies within your own heart, not out there." Upon waking, he felt renewed strength and shifted his perspective, finding joy in life's simple gifts. These extraordinary dreams often feature symbols like radiant light, temple grounds, lotus flowers, or images of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Light symbolizes the illumination of the soul, guiding you out of doubt and suffering. The temple represents sanctity and tranquility. The lotus, pure and rising from murky water, signifies the power to overcome adversity and achieve enlightenment. Why do these dreams come? Perhaps you are enduring hardship or feeling lost among life's choices. Such dreams remind you that, even when everything seems blocked, you are still watched over, protected, and guided. They are whispers from the invisible realm. Trust that all will be well. Dreams are more than nightly experiences. They carry healing energy. One person shared that after dreaming of receiving a lotus from the Buddha, all their anxiety vanished upon waking. Life felt lighter and smoother afterward. That lotus, they realized, symbolized a blessing that helped them release needless burdens. To understand your dream's message, listen to your heart. Note how it made you feel and which detail struck you most. Often, the message lies in those small yet powerful moments. Above all, welcome your dreams with gratitude. Few are as fortunate as those who receive these signs. Life can feel like a grand dream, and these strange nightly visions are the pieces that help you discover its true meaning. When you encounter such a dream, trust that a greater power is guiding you with unconditional love from heaven and the Buddha. Cherish these dreams. They are lights in the darkness, reminding you that no matter how difficult life becomes, peace and profound purpose await your discovery. See, strange birds and animals, messengers of compassion. In life's quiet moments, you may suddenly notice a bird alight before you, a butterfly flutter around, or even a small creature appear in unexpected circumstances. At first glance, it seems ordinary, but spiritually, these animals are messengers carrying messages from the unseen realm. The ancients believed that when a bird, a butterfly, or any special creature approaches you in an unusual way, it is a sign that heaven and the Buddha are watching over and protecting you. Imagine one morning you sit on your porch, troubled by an important decision. Lost in thought, a small sparrow suddenly flies in, perches on the railing, and begins to chirp. You look up, and in that instant, all your anxieties melt away. The bird stands unafraid, as if to tell you, "Have faith. Everything will be all right." In spiritual tradition, birds and animals often serve as bridges between the visible world and the invisible. They bring energy from nature and the cosmos, and sometimes from benevolent spirits eager to send comfort or warning. These creatures are symbols of transformation, hope, and renewal. A woman grieving her mother's passing prayed for a sign. One day, a brilliant yellow butterfly landed on her hand and lingered, as if to console her. From that moment, she believed her mother still watched over her, sending love from beyond. It is not only birds or butterflies. Any animal appearing under special circumstances can hold deep meaning. A stray cat following your steps, a dog sitting faithfully at your door, or even a tiny squirrel coming close. In each case, the animal serves as a gentle reminder that you are not alone, that compassion flows to you from realms unseen, and that you are held in care and protection wherever your path may lead. These creatures cannot speak, but their presence in that moment is the sacred language the universe uses to communicate with you. In Buddhism, birds and animals are often regarded as symbols of compassion and wisdom. The Buddha is described as one who understands the hearts of all beings, and the animals that appear in stories about him frequently carry profound meaning. The crane, for example, symbolizes longevity and purity. The butterfly represents rebirth and liberation. When an animal comes near you, it may be a sign that heaven and the Buddha are reminding you of the noble qualities within yourself: compassion, patience, or the ability to overcome adversity. These beings can also bring a special sense of peace. Have you noticed that when a small creature approaches, you often feel a warm wave spread through your soul? That is because they carry the energy of nature, a pure, compassionate energy that helps you reconnect with the deepest parts of yourself. To understand the message these animals bring, pay attention to your feelings and thoughts at that moment. When they appear, are you praying, seeking answers, or simply feeling lost? These animals do not come by chance. They arrive to remind you that you are not alone, that a powerful presence watches over and guides you. Remember that these creatures are not mere living beings, but messengers of the universe, of heaven, and the Buddha. When they approach you in an unusual way, receive them with gratitude. They symbolize love, protection, and the message that everything, even the smallest things, holds meaning. Next time a little bird perches on your windowsill, a butterfly drifts by, or a strange animal appears in your life, pause for a moment and listen to your heart, for it may be then that heaven and the Buddha are whispering to you, "You are not alone, and all will be well." Life is like a long river, sometimes calm, sometimes surging with great waves. Each of us, in the pursuit of livelihood and happiness, will face winding turns and moments of uncertainty when the shore seems out of reach. Yet amid those upheavals, the signs from heaven and the Buddha, no matter how small or simple, serve as guiding lights, reminders that you are never truly alone. Open your heart to the miracles that surround us, a sudden beam of light, a resonant sound, or a sense of peace without explanation. All are ways the universe, heaven, the Buddha, or sacred beings send messages of love and protection. These signs not only help us navigate difficult times, but also awaken our faith in the profound connection between humanity and the spiritual realm. With a bit of stillness and trust, you will see that every challenge carries its own meaning, and each step you take is watched over by a great power. Let these signs illuminate your soul, bolster your faith in your journey, and draw you closer to happiness and peace. For no matter what life may bring, there is always a sacred embrace ready to shelter you, an immense love by your side, and when you recognize this, you will realize that faith itself is an infinite source of strength, helping you weather every storm and live a more meaningful, fulfilling life.